Boys and girls, today we're going to talk about common denominators. Common denominators. So let's stop for a second and think, what do those two words mean? Okay, when we find something in common, it means something that is the same, right? Like you and your brother, you both like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You have that in common. That's the same. And then denominators, we already know, is the bottom number of a fraction. The bottom number of a fraction. So what we're going to do is take two fractions that are not the same. We have 2 6, the denominator is 6, and 1/5, the denominator is 5. So the two denominators are different. They are not the same. But we're going to make equivalent fractions, and we're going to turn them into fractions that have the exact same denominator, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not too hard, but it does take a couple steps. So the first thing we do is list all the multiples of both denominators. So I'm going to start with 6, okay? I'm going to list all the multiples of 6. And remember, multiples are just like doing the times tables, okay? 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. We're going to stop there. We don't need a ton of them, just a few. And then we're going to do the same thing with our other denominator, 5. We're going to list all the multiples. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. And 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, so now we have listed a lot of our multiples. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And so now I look at all the multiples and I see if I can find a number in common, a number that's the same. So I just kind of compare. No. Hey, wait a minute. I do have two common ones. I have 30. 30 is a multiple of 6 and 30 is a multiple of 5. Perfect. So now what I need to do is create two equivalent fractions, two new fractions with 30 as my denominator. So 30 is going to be my denominator for this equivalent fraction, and 30 is going to be my denominator for this equivalent fraction. And we've done this before, so remember how we do that. We look for the missing factor. 6 times what equals 30? Oh, I know. 6 times 5 equals 30. And so whatever I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. 2 times 5 is what? Yeah, 10. Perfect. And then I come over to this other fraction. This is a whole new problem. And I have to ask myself the same thing. What's my missing factor? 5 times what is 30? And I know that's 6. 5 times 6 is 30. So again, whatever I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. And so I multiply the top by 6. Not 7, not 12, it's 6. It has to be the same. 5 over here, 6 over here. And 1 times 6 we know is 6. Voila! Now I've made two equivalent fractions. So 2 6 and 10 30ths are the same amount of space, okay? So now I have 10 30ths here and I have 6 30ths here. And now that their denominator is the same, I can compare them. I can see which one's bigger. I can add them. I can even subtract them. Okay, so that's how you make common denominators. Remember, first you figure out the denominator, you list the multiples of both denominators, you find one in common, and then you create an equivalent fraction for each of those. Okay, so I hope this helps. We're going to be practicing this for a couple days. Good job.